Hello!
Of course we're going to be getting into
It's Phixius Titans time, and we're going to get into combat. I honestly don't actually know. I don't know what we're doing. My brain is mush. Speaking of mush... Oh, this is a bad segue. I take it back. Spooktober is underway. We're raising money for Extra Life. If you couldn't see by the banner up there and the title of our stream today and all of this month, we are raising money for Extra Life. If you don't know what Extra Life is, it's an amazing organization providing entertainment as well as critical equipment and testing for pediatric wards across Canada and the US. This is our third year doing it. We've raised just under $10,000 altogether for Extra Life in those 3 years, which is pretty fucking amazing, if I do say so myself. And you can be part of that too by donating. If you are the kind of person that needs to be bribed, donate and you'll be entered to win our prize pack, which includes items from Chaosium starter set, a bunch of dice, some Vactair swag,
Extra Life swag, other bullshit that we begged for and received and is currently at our Wisconsin distribution center. AKA my couch.
It will come with a side of pasta hair, so enjoy. But in order to get in and win the pasta hair, you must donate. So you can go to tinyurl.com/Vactair Extra Life -2024 and pick somebody from our roster of GMs and bullshit artists and whoever else signed up to be on our team and donate. I know there's other announcements, but I'm tired. Our first sponsor for tonight...
Your job.
I don't want to. Our first sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca and use the code TheVactair, all one word, at checkout for 15% off of your order. Maggie's Dice Pick of the Week is the digital dice set because it's new. It is very cool. It's purple and green with some gold digital style letters. So if you want to pick up a set of it, go to canadiandice.ca. Again, code is TheVactair, all one word. Just make sure to actually put it in at checkout or you won't actually get the discount. Just saying. They're all really good prices too, because especially if you're in like America, because the Canadian exchange rate sucks, so you benefit. Just saying.
Yeah.
Additionally, if you can hear the tune skis that are going on in my noodle... Oh, they're not going on my noodle, because I'm actually playing them! They're from Monument Studios. Their Fantasy Plus Kickstarter achieved 450% funding. They got all of their stretch goals. Really amazing. But they provided us 5,000 content creator friendly, royalty and copyright free music and sound effects. They can be used for streamed games without any concerns about getting a copyright strike, as well as your home games if you're that extra bitch like me. Check out their Instagram for more information. That's at Monument Studios. And just follow along for their Fantasy Plus release. Our next game, our next stream is this coming Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Warden Ryan is running The Final Delivery, which is a mothership game. I've never heard of it, but I guess your spacefaring delivery service.
It's
so
like
think Futurama meets Alien.
And the way he described it, it's like Alien, but not.
So I'm going to go with Alien meets Futurama.
That's just what I was thinking. Sounds like
you're all gonna die. It's fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you do.
It's what we do. Die.
Yeah.
A lot. Especially if you're Emily and Jeremy's teams.
Mm.
She got through yesterday's game just fine.
Yeah, it only took me down to 2 hit points at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Maggie, you've returned with your Eugene Levy eyebrows. Nice.
I'm a monster. I'm spooky!
You're a monster of the anti on fleek.
They are on fleek!
Are they?
They
Stop
are!
trying to make fleek happen.
You
Oh, goodness. On that note, why don't we jump in? So, last time, you fought a bunch of stick monsters and saved a couple fields of strawberries and didn't light anything on fire. I was very proud of all of you. You took your pre-battle potions after the battle and found out their various effects, some of which included teleporting. One of you turned into a giant lotus blossom. Race lost their nose for a little while. You know, it's fine.
They didn't
and they turned
lose it.
Lily into a kite.
Her nose was
Something
inverted.
Didn't
There's
lose
a
it, just
difference.
with it side by head.
There's a
Yes.
difference.
It inverted for almost 4 hours. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
It's fine. You were given some of the strawberries and the winterberries, as well as some fancy winterberry wine and a stone that you're not really sure what it does yet because nobody's really looked at it. And then you made your way back to the merchant house where you sort of hung out and had a meal. And the woman who runs the greenhouse, Maester Pym, she asked you to go pick up some ingredients that she had ordered from one of the local alchemist, herbologist people. And when you arrived there, you found out that something from Race's past had shown up that had no business being there.
Not
And
something.
found out that there was some secrets going around. Because, secrets.
My fifis
the-
were hurt.
I don't
Yes,
know what you
the
mean.
guilt- The best friend guilt trip lasted the entire way home.
And then some. It
And then
hasn't
some.
ended, I don't think.
It hasn't ended yet. No, because you haven't gone to bed yet. So,
Probably not.
I haven't slept on it to forget about it yet.
exactly.
Sure.
You haven't reset like a goldfish.
A fair point.
But you found out that this mysterious substance was from like a branch of Terraheart from a special tree that grows only in Titan's Watch, where Race is from. And you found out that she's been on kind of a mission to locate this missing stuff, and there was more guilt tripping and, all of the fun things. Rue didn't fall off the roof this time. And Ophelia got to use their amulet of pigeon control, finally. And had a conversation with the local pigeons. It was great. Not particularly helpful, but it was great nonetheless. And you have since returned to the merchant house, where you are all seated around one of the dining room tables at the moment, discussing what it is that you would like to do next. So, take it away, kids.
So what do you want to do next?
I don't know. I think we need therapy.
Best friend therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's couples therapy, but best friends.
Well, I haven't heard of any therapy mimes being in the area, so...
I hate that that's a thing.
A what?
A
Therapy mime.
Ophelia
Why?
starts miming, like writing down stuff on a piece of paper.
They're very good listeners.
Yeah, but they can't
Unlike some
give you
people.
any advice.
They can, just not verbally.
That's what the pad's for.
I don't know how that's helpful.
Well, you haven't tried it yet.
True?
Mm-hmm. Well,
So not until you
cannot-
try it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fair.
I cannot
Always a
recommend a place
point.
to find a therapy mime currently. I can suggest that we go to the market because I believe we have enough gold where I can start prototyping the bacon coolant heater. Do you hear my dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gingy.
Yes.
Is your
Oh,
dog
so
going
sad,
back
baby.
inside?
It's okay, puppy.
I think she needs to go OUT, even though we
Okay.
just started. I'm really
It's
sorry.
okay.
okay.
Go do the thing.
You
They can
cannot
figure it out
control
without you.
an animal's bladder or poopy. It's fine.
It's
But as you're all
cool.
sitting there and kind of discussing like what you'd like to do, it is getting to be evening and dinner is in the middle of being served. You get some braised lamb with vegetables,
Oh, yum.
and for dinner or for dessert, sorry, you get a very specially made strawberry tart.
I eat dessert
Ooh.
first. And then by the time I'm done eating again, like my main meal, hopefully everybody will have forgotten I had some pie already, and then I'm going to have another piece.
Are you being sneaky about it?
No. I don't really
Okay.
care. I'm just,
Completely obvious about it.
I'm not trying to be like sneaky or like facetious or like whatever about it. It's just sort of like, well, if I have pie now and then we eat dinner.
Yeah.
And then I have
And
another piece
honestly,
of pie, then nobody's going to say anything because they'll forget.
Topher is like, you can tell that Topher's excited that there is somebody in the house that like eats his meals with such enthusiasm that he doesn't give a shit.
Mm.
Like he just kind of like he sees you come up and just up to the like the bar where the food is sitting and just like slides another piece over to you.
You're my favorite. And I walk away.
And he like before you leave, he puts like a little dollop of cream on it for you.
Clotted
Oh.
cream. So good.
I might want more.
What are you talking about? This is my first piece.
I'm gonna get a second piece.
Okay.
Totally, like just piling up a plate
we
full
did
of
provide. We did provide the strawberries.
That is true.
That's true.
So
For
it
sure.
seems to me entirely reasonable that we should get extra.
He reminds you that if you come across any other, interesting food ingredients, to bring them back to him, and he'll cook them up for you. So,
Very nice.
something to be on the
Use
lookout
very
when you're
nice.
out and about.
Well,
Out and
Lily
about.
is in a very good mood because lamb is one of her favourites.
Mm.
So she's. And I'm wondering, my friends, how you might feel about us doing perhaps the driver and guarding job that would take us out for a bit, given that I like being out. Just
Sure.
rather than
What do we have to do?
I'll pull up the
if
board
I
for you.
remember correctly,
That's-
it's
move your butt, I
just
can't see.
escorting a supply shipment from here to Baylor, I think it's pronounced, on the road to Ugark. Swap over,
Bless you.
do the exchange of the people there, and bring back the stuff that we're supposed to be bringing back.
Yes, so
Interesting.
Alright.
I like
Lily would
one
know
of the things I like the
that
sound about that. Carry on.
Lily would know that Balor is one of the sort of like rest stop towns on the main road. There's a oh god, what are those things called? A coach, like where you change over coaches.
Coach house.
Yeah, that thing. I'm like, there's
Hey,
a word
Link.
for this, and my
Thanks,
brain just
Libby.
went, nope. But there is one of those there that you would escort the shipment to and swap with whoever's coming back this direction, and you would bring that load back then.
So the
Okay.
other good thing about it is that it is all on the main road, or on a main road. So we're not going to be trundling around trying to find our way through unknown woodland or anything like that. At least hopefully not.
What's a woodland?
A forest.
Oh. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly the best
Do I have
bit.
to walk?
Okay.
No.
That wasn't
I
an okay
imagine you could-
question. I was asking if I needed to.
Oh.
I imagine, I don't know for certain, but I imagine you'd be able to ride in the carriage
Oh, good. I hate walking.
with the supplies.
I'm a supply.
Perhaps the best bit is that we get 10 gold each for doing it.
Ooh. Not bad.
It
Yeah,
would be pretty good.
it would.
Yeah, let's do
Well,
it.
let's do it then.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we can go by
No.
the marketplace for what Ophelia wants before we head over to
Uh-huh.
the stable.
hmm And I would like to just pop into the Illumination Abbey just to let Sir Nook know what I'm up to, and pick
Okay.
up a few bits and pieces that I would like to have with me.
Okay.
You tell us that.
So the
out
Abbey
loud?
is like on the opposite
Pardon?
side of town.
Yes, I'm telling you that out loud.
Oh, okay. But it's on the opposite side of town.
True, but it won't take me very long.
Okay, well maybe you head that way and we'll head to the marketplace and meet you by the stables. Because that's all
Yeah.
in the same direction, right?
The stables are like part of the house that you guys all live in. Like, you know where the horses
Oh.
are outside?
Oh, I thought I totally misread that or misheard it. I thought the stables were like at the or the city walls.
Nope, you guys have your own stables here that you can use for these kinds of shipments and things like that are used for that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, let's
But
just
you
go
guys
walk
are
about
in the
it.
middle of the Azure Ward. Can't talk tonight, Jesus Christ. Which is the merchant district. So you can get whatever you need for Ophelia, and then or whatever other supplies that you need or things like that. And then on your way out of town you could hit the Illumination Abbey, because you would have to go up through the city to get out of town anyways.
Hmm.
Oh, well, there you are.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it that way.
Let's do
What the big person in the sky said, the Sky Daddy.
Big thumbs up in the sky.
It's just a cloud. Ooh, and then it
Yep.
flips to this briefly,
Yep.
and then it goes back.
Exactly. But
Excuse
it
me.
is getting to be pretty late in the evening by the time you finish your meal and your dessert and all of that stuff. So, you'd probably have to do that in the morning.
Don't
It's
tell me what
safer
to do.
travel. It's safer to travel during the day. I mean, you can go at night if you really want.
Even in the city? I mean, I realize that cities
Like-
are inherently dangerous, but
Yeah, I mean, like, just in general, but, like, if you were gonna go... Like, you could go to the market district right now if you wanted. Like, they're open. Like, it doesn't... This city is big enough that it doesn't really ever shut down.
Hmm.
There is a shop open pretty much all the time. So if you wanted to
Fair
go do that, wander around in the market for a little while before you sleep.
well, Maggie needs to be here for that, so we'll just wait
Yeah.
until morning.
So
Yeah.
as you all sort of climb into your beds and settle in for whatever sort of...
Have a nice sleep first.
Yeah, whatever kind of, like, rest you take, whatever form that ends up being. It is... so the storm from the day before has stopped, and a sort of cooler breeze has moved in. So the weather's actually very nice, and you're able to, like, open all the windows in the bedrooms and things like that and get a very nice breeze, so it's very comfortable.
What's Breeze doing here?
And... Exactly. As you settle in for your various trances and naps and whatever else you do, Race, as you settle in, you sort of find yourself drifting in that space of, like, meditation, restfulness that you do at night. And you suddenly are sort of drawn into a vision. You find yourself standing in a dark stone chamber with 4 different plinths before you, each with a shaft of light overhead that sort of illuminates each one. As you approach, you can see on the one that is like directly in front of you is a small basin of dirt. To your right is a small brazier where you can see a small flame dancing. To your left is a bowl of water, and straight ahead of you, past the bowl of dirt, is a jar where you can see a small cyclone sort of swirls within it.
I got a jar of hurricane. I got a jar of hurricane.
Can I like poke at the dirt?
Sure. As you you step up to the platform or the little, holding containers. You poke the dirt, and at first nothing happens, and then as you're sort of looking at them in turn, first the cyclone begins to change and shift, eventually taking on sort of the rough shape of a humanoid with arms and legs. Like you can very distinctly see arms, legs, a head, and they seem to just be made out of these winds.
Is there a dick?
Not that you can see.
Well, I'm not there, so I can't see anything.
In the same manner, the flame begins to do the same thing, becomes vaguely humanoid, and begins pacing within the brazier like it's a cage. Then the surface of the water begins to like bubble and boil and stands up like a body made out of a tidal wave. And then the surface of the basin with the dirt begins to shift in shape and seems to struggle for a moment before finally pulling itself back up into a humanoid shape. And it tries to scrabble out of the bowl in front of you. You see strange...
I'm trying to I don't know what to do about this thing that's in front of me.
As you pick your hands up and the humanoid made out of dirt stops and looks at you and looks up at you. And it's only maybe half a foot tall, all of them. They're all very small in these little containers. But it stops and it looks up at you. And as it looks at you, you can see from where a heart would be on a normal person, there are these strange white sort of runes that spread out from its chest. And you can see that it seems weaker than the others.
What is that? I point to its chest and ask it.
It kind of backs up defensively, and it opens its mouth like it hisses at you, but there's no sound that comes out. And then suddenly the entire room shakes and rumbles. And can you roll me a dexterity saving throw?
Ah, shoot. Do I have advantage on that yet? Or is that a later level?
I think that's later.
10 plus whatever my stats are.
Okay. So you find yourself sitting up in bed as the room around you shakes and grumbles, and the rest of you wake up as the room is grumbling and shaking, and you can hear outside people yelling, and then everything sort of settles down again. And you all sit up and kind of look at each other.
What the heck?
What was that all about?
It shook in my dream, and then it shook here.
Oh, what kind of dream were you having?
Yeah.
I don't know. There were some, element people in a bowl. Each in their own bowl. And they couldn't talk to me. And then the dirt one was it looked kind of puny. And then I said, well, what's the matter with you? And then it got mad, and then an earthquake happened. And then I woke up to this earthquake. That's about it.
That's really weird.
I don't have a lot of dreams. I just sort of trance usually. So that's weird.
No. Roll me just a straight intelligence check.
11.
Okay.
Probably minus something.
It's fresh enough that you remember that very distinctly. It sort of comes back to you very distinctly that air was first, and then fire, water, dirt.
Air, fire, water, dirt. That order.
Well, like that's how they got out of their
Woke
receptacles.
up. No, they couldn't get out.
Oh.
But that's how they woke up, in that order.
Huh.
Was weird, yeah?
Would I know anything about this
Yeah.
for reasons?
Roll me a history check at advantage.
21.
Yeah, these sound like the primordial titans.
But they're babies.
They were small versions of themselves, yes.
Babies. Huh. Well, that's weird. Maybe, you know what, Race? If you happen upon them again in your dreams, perhaps just say hi and don't ask them anything.
Don't ask? Why not?
Just don't. Those types are they're a little.
It does.
Can you roll me a wisdom save, please?
No. No, I cannot. 18.
Okay, so you, as you're sort of saying this to Race, you have kind of a moment where you remember being very, very small and looking out sort of over the deck that is outside of your family home and looking up into the sky and seeing something similar but much, much larger, like a face in the winds outside of your home. And it just passed by for a moment and then moved on.
Like I said, babies. Yeah, you
Okay.
just let them be. And if they ask you for something, then you can help them.
Okay.
Sounds like some very good advice.
Just go with me on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ginger's back from pulling her Agni. I need to go to the bathroom once we start.
Of course. There was an earthquake, a little tiny one, but just a little one.
What?
It woke you guys up from your sleep because you went to bed.
Oh, okay.
Not a real earthquake.
Yeah, there hasn't been one here in a couple of months. We had one over the summer. It was really weird.
Knock on wood?
We don't get them here very often. But yeah, so Race had a dream about 4 figures, each made of a different element.
Was it a dream of a day gone by?
Sure.
Ophelia, I assume, did not dream because they were reborn.
No. Nobody else had this dream, but you were all sort of awoken by the shaking and rumbling of the room. It wasn't anything, it wasn't like a really bad earthquake or anything like that. It just kind of shook the room pretty hard and, a couple things fell off of shelves, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough to sort of notice.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who are Race and Worm and Lily, you are fairly used to earthquakes. They happen pretty regularly in this area. But Ophelia, this would be sort of a newer experience for you.
Shoot.
Lily just checks everyone's okay, yeah?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Except for the fact that I'm awake right now.
Mm.
Is my
Yeah.
trance done yet or no?
No. You got woken up
Dang.
in the middle of it. It was only a couple of hours after you.
Shoot. I just lay back down flat. I think that's how Race, like, trances.
Just
Probably most
like a
elves
board.
are sitting up, but Race just lays, like, on top of her, like, covers, just like...
I feel like Worm makes a nest out of all their pillows.
Oh, fuck
And-
yes.
The stuffy that they have.
It's like full all over body support with like different pillows. So like I need a little bit more on like my right butt cheek. So like there's just like a little one stuffed into there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the night goes, uneventful. And the weather continues to hold nice. It's you wake up in the morning and there's still sort of a nice breeze coming in off the sea. And it smells like that wonderful mix of brine and just cooler air coming in off the sea.
Well, I don't know who
Well, wake up
Brian
in the
is,
morning.
but that satyr needs to get out of here.
Don't see many of them around here.
Breeze is just like, how did I get here? And then poofs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plays something on their little bird pipes and then poofs.
It's like a Willy Wonka thing.
Yes. But the morning is yours, and you can... There's talk of going to the market or whatever it is that you're going to do first. There's breakfast,
Mhm.
obviously.
Yep. Going to
Breakfast.
Go get some breakfast.
I order like 10 eggs.
Well,
I'm
he's
trying to
not
bulk
there
up.
in the mornings to do... He's not
shoot.
there. It's like a overnight sort of
Yes, it's
breakfast
dessert.
casserole kind of thing.
Yeah.
These are like individual
remember.
little, like, they look like little pie crust, but they're made out of like egg, and they've got cheese and like
Oh, I take so
shredded
many of those.
potatoes and stuff like that in them. They're so good.
Mm.
Yeah, I take a bunch of those.
yeah. I'm like
Yeah.
tiredly eating because my rest was interrupted and I'm very offended.
I'm
like- Sneeze and Craney are just like looping around
All in
my
your
horns.
horns.
Yeah.
Nice.
As I'm just
very
like
Medusa of you.
dead faced, eating, like just shoveling food.
There's coffee.
Oh, yeah, we have tons of that, yes.
Yeah, I have coffee.
That
You
I'm
get the
trying to
sense
bulk
that
up.
like you get the sense that you guys are the only ones in the house right now, and you don't see Rue at the moment either.
Huh,
She was there when you went to bed. She's not there now.
weird.
mm,
She'll be back. She always is.
Sneaky.
I'm sure she's just off
Okay.
robbing the blind and feeding the rich. Oh, wait. Strike that. Reverse it.
Sure.
I see. Very well. Fair enough. If you, I mean, you know her better than me, so if you think we don't need to be worried about her, then let's not be worried about her.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Someone said something about shopping.
Yeah, Ophelia, you needed something from the
Yeah.
market, right?
Yes.
That was a yes
Well-
and question where you usually like say yes and then tell us what you needed again.
Ophelia pulls out a list, and it has like a little schematic drawn on it for like the hot cold pocket idea that
Oh
they have.
yeah, that's right.
So I
Definitely.
need all of these things, but I wasn't sure if it was worth going into granular detail.
Well, you could have just said something like the materials needed for making the hot and cold pockets.
I was thinking of calling them Hot Pockets, but I believe that name might be taken.
Well, and then what do you do for the cold pockets?
It would be Hot Pockets : Cold Edition.
It's not copyright if you spell it like HAWT.
I feel like that would mess up the brand recognition.
I feel like there's an emo out there screaming some.
Probably.
An emo.
What you mean?
I think you could probably get
I don't
away
know what
with
an
thermal
emo
pockets,
is.
which covers both.
Yeah. Or you could just, call them something like temperature pockets or,
All pockets have
food
temperature.
storage pockets.
Oh, pockets.
FSP.
I will workshop the name.
Hey, watch your mouth, Race. You just said something nasty about Sneeze's mama.
What?
Exactly.
Are you talking about the sneeze or?
Who's the Sneeze?
Can I make a
You would
history
know
check?
that.
Oh, I know who that is.
Can I make a
They
history
don't
check?
know
to
who
see
that I know
what-
that I know
Oh,
who that
okay.
is.
Yeah,
You
go ahead
don't
and
know
roll a
that
history
I know
check.
that we know that they know.
Exactly what Emily said. I
How
assume that
complicated can we make this one sentence?
I feel like I've heard the info dumps from the others, but how much does Ophelia know from that?
She doesn't know that I know who they are.
Dirty 20. You would have heard of the Sneeze, also known as, Elise. They were a champion across the Jade Sea.
Oh.
Some of the stories about them are a little hard to believe, considering the shenanigans that you yahoos got up to, but...
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I believe
There's
it.
even a rumor that, like, the Sneeze's friends that they traveled around with stole an airship, a priceless artifact from the country that they were living in.
Who would do such a thing?
Never.
I don't think they stole it. I think they appropriated it for wartime and then just didn't give it back.
Ah.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Whatever
Right.
helps you sleep at night, Ram.
Ram doesn't sleep at night.
Ram doesn't sleep, so
know.
it's fine.
I know.
Anyway,
Whatever helps you get a long rest at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Knitting?
Sure.
We should head out.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can
we'll get you
probably,
your-
there might be some things we need to pick up while we're in the market, bearing in mind that we're going to be away overnight this time.
Oh, is it just an overnight?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
well it's a day trip there, you spend the night there and then you come back.
Is it 10 gold for going there and then 10 gold for leaving and coming back with the new shipment?
10
Sadly,
gold
no,
for-
I think it's 10 gold.
For
Per
the round
round
trip?
trip.
Ah,
Which,
So it's-
frankly,
5 gold.
But you know well, okay, first of all, 5 gold is a lot.
Mm.
If you
Uh,
look in
Okay, but that said, GM, what's my backstory?
That's true. Very true.
I don't know what your
But also-
backstory is. Why don't you tell us? Everybody, right now. Reveal
No.
it now.
Yeah,
No.
just
well,
throw all the
once
secrets
I
out
was a
in
child,
session
and
4.
now I'm an adult.
One
And
time,
that's my backstory.
my parents prayed really hard, and then a stork brought a diamond and put it under a cabbage, and then a baby, and it was me.
You're a Cabbage Patch Kid?
Yes,
Nice.
Great.
Love that. Love that for you.
I love that for me too.
Race that little bag of dust that you have thrums in your pocket again. He does it every once in a while, and it's kind of disconcerting, but it's like just a random heartbeat.
Drums is
Out of
such
nowhere.
a good word. I love that word. Sorry.
I'm just like whispering at my pocket to shut up.
Why'd you tell me to shut up?
Not you. Never
Well,
mind.
And I'm like looking around, and like Sneeze and Craney are looking around too.
You think that, like, if you could find somebody who could do it, you might be able to cast, like, Identify on it and find out exactly what it does in this form.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Wait, did you
It's in
need
a- it's in
somebody
a
who
form
knows
you've never seen.
Identify?
I thought we
Because-
had somebody who could do Identify.
Yes.
It's you, isn't it?
Yeah, I know Identify. Did you just want me to?
Oh.
Did you just want me to identify it?
I mean, you already lied to me. There's no point in lying to everybody else.
Can I make an insight check on feeling?
Sure. Ophelia, you can make a deception or...
What am I
Persuasion
deceiving right now?
check.
I know Identify.
Okay, well then it's just... Yeah.
Just persuasion?
7 plus whatever my insight is.
You think that they can handle the spell.
Can I handle the truth?
Even if they identify it, they may not know what it means. And
but
again,
one of us
Alright.
might.
I suggest perhaps maybe not lying to everybody. Like you've
Just-
lied to me our entire friendship.
It's my job. But okay. Here, look at this. What is it?
I look at this photograph. No, what am I? No, I can't say that. You see
Okay,
Ophelia's
so-
eyes like glow a very bright blue as they cast Identify on this object.
So, as you identify this item, when you touch the outside of the little burlap bag that this dust is inside of, Ophelia, your heart beats,
Ugh.
which is disconcerting.
Ugh.
It hasn't done that in years,
Ah.
which makes you freak out a little bit. But
Ugh.
you, like, as you cast the spell, that happens, and then you, so basically the dust that is in here is made from a special tree branch that will, if there is a gold cost component to a spell, will replace that. And there's probably 50 gold worth in this bag.
Ooh, so it's like residuum. Fancy.
Kinda, yeah.
Ugh. I did not like identifying that item.
Why? What happened?
It made me feel funny in my chest.
Yeah.
Like in your chest or like in your chest?
Like in my heart, not my
Titties?
yes.
I'm gonna say breasticles.
Oh. Does your heart even beat? Is that
Until
offensive to
now,
ask?
it has not. I vaguely remember doing it some time ago, but not until recently.
Is it still beating?
Is it still beating?
Nope, it just did it once.
No, it just did it once.
Oh. Well, maybe it only like
Very unsettling.
you know how
Creepy
I only
even.
take like a breath
Yeah.
every couple like minutes?
Yes.
Maybe it's like that for your heart, but like years.
Mm.
Lily's over there with a normal heartbeat and normal breathing pattern.
Just
like
looking at
a
these
person.
two like weirdos who definitely don't show up as undead and fey, respectively.
Oh, why would they?
Not at all.
Anyway, it seems as if you were to cast a spell that required a material component, this would replace the cost, and it
Oh.
has about 50 gold's worth residual. on here currently. And it does not appear to replenish.
Well, we won't be needing that, so I'll just take it home.
We won't?
Nope.
As I'm like going through my Rolodex of spells, I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
that
pretty
stuff
sure.
would be really, really useful.
Yeah, there's some like powerful stuff we could do to like save lives and stuff.
Yes. I
We
know.
could also just do that with gold.
But if we don't have the gold,
Well, you need the specific item worth that amount of gold. This would substitute any item regardless of its rarity. For instance, it could be a dragon scale or a different color dragon scale. Are you okay? You seem to be making a face. Actually, do I notice that face?
You can perception check.
Yeah. Or Ophelia's just
And-
going, or another
And
colored
Worm can
dragon
make a
scale.
deception check.
Or even another. I rolled
That's a performance.
They're the same. Wait, are they the same? Hold on.
30-20.
Why is my perception? They're the same stat. So yeah, it's still 6.
Yeah, you don't see Worm suddenly looking
Or
very uncomfortable.
another dragon's colored scale, or perhaps a different dragon.
Why do you want to skin these dragons? What's wrong with you?
I could not think of another material component.
Diamonds?
Or a diamond.
Incense?
Or an incense. Incense is incense.
Or
Side.
gemstones in general? Like, we don't have those just kicking around, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes,
Possibly
we are not
water.
kicking rocks.
So it's at this point that you hear the front door open up and close again, and Ham and Knock walk in, and they look beat to shit.
What happened to you?
Bounty went wrong.
Oh no.
What do you
Ham walks over and just takes the pot of coffee and sits down with it.
What do you
Hey.
mean wrong?
What was that, Megan?
Like,
What do you mean it went wrong?
yeah,
We
that.
were staking out a safe house, and we thought the guy was inside. Turns out it was just somebody dressed like him, and we got jumped when we went in. It didn't go well.
Oh dear.
I would not recommend doing that.
No.
Who was it you were looking for?
We were looking for... Hold on a second, I gotta get on my other page of notes.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yes.
There's a million things he hasn't done. Like lose the game.
God. Get outta here
Well,
with
I
that
don't
shit.
think Alexander Hamilton lost the game because he never knew about it. Therefore, he won the game because he died before knowing about it.
I resurrect him to specifically tell him that
Hey,
I
buddy, you lost the game.
We were after someone named Saris Gu Alag.
Can I make a history check?
Yeah, sure, you can all make history checks. Lily, you don't have to actually do that. You know who this is.
Okay, fine.
Natural one.
Race, you have no idea. You are
23.
still very distracted by the heartwood powder.
I
7.
did take it back, by the way.
Your heart beat when you picked it up again.
Mm.
I'm just saying, we can probably really use that.
Or you could return the parts of my sacred tree to my home.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if for whatever reason it becomes life and death, and we need 50 gold worth of something,
I'll think about
Okay, so
you better think fast.
what did
'cause
you get?
23.
7. I was too busy talking about the reagent.
Okay, so, Ophelia and Lily, you know that Ceres is the leader of a sort of underground movement here in the city that is very upset with the powers that be at the moment. Has to do with, like, it sort of started out as a dispute between the people who work down at the docks and the people who work up in the like up in the Citadel, and about like fair wages and things like that. It sort of started from that, and it ended up they've sort of turned into a group of people who go around the city and like sometimes they blow shit up, sometimes they fight people, sometimes they steal things, and they're called the Belsair, and they have there's a symbol that you see sometimes around town of just like when they come through and they like graffiti a place. It's become more and more violent recently, but only because the Ember Brand have been going and like hitting their safe houses and rounding them up, and there was an execution that happened a couple of weeks ago that really started things moving.
Are executions like a common punishment?
No, they are extremely rare.
What kind of, do I know what kind of crime this person committed that would constitute such a punishment?
The rumor, so what they were officially charged with was kidnapping the daughter of the governor.
Is that?
And the daughter is still missing.
Oh. How old is she?
Like she would be the equivalent of like 21. She's but she's an elf, so it's not necessarily the same.
Sounds like quite a conundrum. I'm sure that the group is perhaps scattered's not the right word, but there's probably a lot of vacuums going around in terms of power, given the recent execution and all.
Yeah, and as you bring up the execution, everybody roll me a perception check.
Hey, did you know that Tugger can't be surprised?
Race, you are still distracted by this powder. Like,
I rolled a 3.
What'd you get, Lily? Is it not rolling for you?
No.
Rude. You can roll like 5 times.
How dare you?
Okay, well, Worm,
There
for
we go.
sure.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, nice. Both of you got natural 20s.
Ooh.
Okay, so
we know everything.
Lily and Worm, you sort of like are good at reading people, or at least reading body language, and like you can tell. So Nock shifts sort of uncomfortably, and Ham just like refuses to look around when you bring up the execution. He is staring at that coffee pot like the answers to the end, like the answers to the world are in that coffee pot.
Could be.
I mean, it is coffee.
I mean, yeah, there very well could be the answers to the world in there. But you can tell that they are suddenly very, like, laser focused on what's in front of them.
You know, I don't think either of you should take up a career in Three Dragon Ante. Just saying.
Or Ham sort of looks up at you and says, Nock's actually really good at that. And Nock goes,
I'm surprised because your tells are really obvious. What's with the execution and why did it bother you?
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
24.
24. You see, you see Nock look at Ham, and Ham just sort of goes very stiff for a moment, and then sort of just his shoulders sag, and he kind of, without looking at any of you, he is still looking into this coffee pot, just still, and he just says, they were a friend.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I am sorry.
I'm not.
That must be very difficult for you to handle.
It's a complicated situation.
That I would
And
have
Worm
thought was an
and Lily,
understatement.
you definitely get the sense that he knows more than he's letting on.
So what did it make? But words are hard, and putting sentences together
Blah,
is even
blah,
harder.
blah, blah.
I don't even remember what I was going to say because I got all fucked up.
I wonder, were you also involved in the action that actually caught them so that they could be taken to justice?
No, I was away on a job when it happened.
Oh,
So what
I
do you know
wasn't
that you're
here.
not saying? That makes it
You kind of-
complicated.
He kind of looks up at you, and he looks like he wants to say something, and then changes his mind and just says, I don't know you.
I'm Worm. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Shakes your hand.
Oh, all right.
He's
I'm
like, I'm Ham. We met the other night.
So you do know me.
Not well enough to tell you that.
Why not?
It's not worth the trouble it would cause for both of us.
I mean, my middle name's Trouble.
You see him kind of frown for a second. It's an odd middle name. I mean,
I
I've seen
know.
Stranger, but...
I know, right?
Oh, are you one of those that doesn't understand sarcasm? Okay.
But it actually is Trouble. Well, it's like trouble, but in quotations. You know how people have like Randy Macho Man Savage?
Oh, my
Oh, yeah,
name's
I heard of
Ham
that guy.
Hock, but I go by Ham.
Yeah. So it's like a
Ham is
nickname.
short for Ham.
My brothers called me Trouble all the time. And Worm. They called me Worm too.
yes, I can understand why. My friend, you may actually feel better if you talk about it. I promise you that we are reasonably discreet, should we say.
We
Let's
are?
just say
I mean,
that-
yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
He sort of sighs and he says, let's just say they executed an innocent man.
Oh.
Ah.
Did you perhaps want to talk elsewhere about this, or here be the best place? Is that your residence?
I don't know if that'll help, but do you have, evidence that could clear his name post... What's it called?
Mhm.
Not postpartum. That's the wrong word.
Yes, that's very the wrong word.
Mortem.
Postmortem. That's the one.
Yes. Mortis as in death.
Sorry,
I thought
what
I
was
was
the
the one with-
question?
I thought I was the one with the negative charisma.
Oh, I've got plenty of charisma, but I just feel like if you've got evidence to clear him even though he's dead.
Well,
Or is the problem perhaps that you feel that had you been there, you would have been able to prove his innocence?
and potentially that means the person who's responsible is still not.
Indeed, the person who is responsible is still out there somewhere.
Yes, which also explains why the governor's daughter has still not been returned.
Yes. Exactly.
Sounds like he just might have been a scapegoat.
He was.
All right,
He
so
was,
let's find the actual goat then.
he was a
Unless
satyr.
you're the goat. Are you the goat?
I was out of town.
Oh yeah, likely excuse.
Amari has the records to prove it.
And what about you? The other
I
one.
was on a job for Amari. And knock signs. I was there.
Hmm.
I don't believe that accusing them will do any good, Worm. I believe that.
I wasn't accusing them. It's called an interrogation. Get on my level.
I'm not sure we need to interrogate them either, Worm.
Yes,
Okay,
I
but the
believe-
definition of interrogate is ask questions. Yes?
Yes,
that
but
is
you
what we
do
are
not
doing.
have to be hostile.
I'm not being
Worm,
hostile. I was being
Because
hostile.
you're so into coffee. Because you're so into coffee, you watch Ham just like drain the rest of the coffee and then set the mug down and he says, I'm going to go to bed. And gets up and heads for the bunk room. And Knock just signs to all of you. It was a bad night.
Mm.
Do you want a hug?
I can imagine.
He nods.
Okay. I'm very squishy, so I give him like a big squishy hug.
He gives you a surprisingly like comforting hug for being made completely of metal. Like,
That doesn't matter.
he's nice and cool to the touch.
I like the cold.
Hmm.
You can hear that sort of like familiar whirring sound in his chest.
Do I hear a rat?
You do not.
Okay. Just gotta check.
It sounds distinctly like just a chest cavity with the sort of engine that runs them in there. That you've met like other Warforged that have.
What do you do when you're not when you're not sleeping, but you should be because everybody else is? What do you do?
He reaches in his bag and takes out a ball of yarn and knitting needles.
I wondered.
Fine.
You can see that
I
like
think-
he's got
I think-
like about this long of a scarf going on at the moment.
Do Warforged dream of electric sheep?
Yes, they do.
Indeed.
It's true.
They're just
Which is why they're
Modrons that they've
knitting-
like dressed up like sheep.
It's why they're knitting all the time then. Gotta get
They
that
have so
wool.
much wool.
Exactly.
The morning is moving on, my friends. I think if we're going down to the market, we'd probably best be on our way.
Why is the market going somewhere?
No, but we are. Once we've been to the market.
That's true.
Well, and you need to go to the temple, right?
Yes, but we can do that on the way past. I'll
Yeah,
only need to drop in for 10 minutes.
I just don't want you to forget.
No, I won't forget, don't worry.
Okay, because I will.
Fine.
And you've forgotten already.
Where are we going?
Goldfish brain.
Exactly.
I'm already not mad at Ray's anymore about the whole lying our entire friendship
You
thing.
just needed to sleep because you
Yeah.
were grumpy from the sleep.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Mm.
And I also hadn't eaten.
Okay, so-
like dinner helped.
Yeah.
And then like the itis
were-
that follows. Yeah.
You were
A
hangry.
fair point.
That's all. You just needed a Snickers bar. It's fine.
Yeah. I was
Alright,
hangry and I
so-
needed a nappy.
You're not yourself when you're hungry. Grab a Snickers.
A nap or a nappy? Those are two different things.
Yes.
God. So,
Great.
as a group, you head out to the market. What is it that you are looking for, Ophelia?
I am looking for like electrical component. Well, not
Don't
electrical,
worry,
technically,
Worm.
but
I got
like,
something for you too.
but just like, well, probably like metal components to craft this apparatus that can go cold to hot. So, how much money do we have currently? I believe we have like about. I have currently marked down 44 gold.
That's what I have as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Are
Oh,
people
there is some in
crowdfunding this?
the party sheet that didn't get dispersed, so we have a little bit more than that.
Yes. I
Hint, hint.
believe last time, Artemis, you said to make one of them it would cost 50 gold.
Yes.
Yes.
Get all the
Are other
components that
people
you
willing to
need
help
and
pay for this endeavor? Are we crowdfunding the pocket, or how is the pocket being
I think we
done?
should hunt ignition the pocket.
What does that mean?
Hunt ignition?
I don't know what that means.
Kickstart?
Oh, okay. Yes. Ophelia says if anybody would like to help chip in, they are free to.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple gold. How much
Yeah.
how much do you, because I got 48 right now.
I have 44 and I would need 50 total. I don't mind taking the brunt of the cost. But I can either currently make a cold or hot pocket. Again, these names are being workshopped. Is also a possibility.
Yes. Yeah. I'll give you like 10 gold. Will that help?
Yes, that would definitely help.
Mhm. Yeah, I can give you the same amount without any difficulty.
Yes.
Do I have that much on my... Is anybody looking at my sheet?
Yeah,
Okay.
you probably have 48 unless you
Yeah.
had something else.
Okay. Then I will also give 10 gold.
Yes. Then
Oh,
I
You
will.
have 48 gold.
Drink and posture check. Some gerblin runs by and kicks us
God damn
all in
it.
the spine.
The kobold that was being chased by the two mastiffs run by and knock into all of you.
Yeah.
Ah!
But like, you know how, like, I don't know if you've had chiropractor treatment, but when they just like get you like right in the middle of the lower back.
No.
They do not do that
Never
at
mind, go on.
myofascial release.
Well, I don't have typical things, like I don't have the cracking and the twisting and everything. He has this like gun that like pushes everything back into place.
Ophelia writes down Theragun. Or new idea.
Theragun. Homer, you had it set to whore.
Okay, so you guys spend a little time rounding up whatever parts that Ophelia is going to need for this. But as you're walking around, everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check to see what it is that
can
you
I also
see
try
in
to
the market that
haggle
you've
on
never
there,
been
though?
in.
Afterwards, after we do that? Let me just...
14 plus or minus whatever I've got.
Sorry, Maggie, I didn't hear what you said.
5, but could I try to haggle when we go up to get the parts, though?
Or roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah,
I'll
I
help.
want to go... like, is this, like... Is the merchant, like, specifically dealing in, like... You know, like, artificery wares, like metal bits and bobs?
No, like you kind of have to go around and nice, Lily. You kind of have to go around and like get these from different places throughout the market. Like it's kind of an overall sort of thing. There isn't anybody here that deals in like artificer things. You like Ophelia, you would know that the main artificer sort of like place is in a city called Nidra, which is across the Jade Sea in Umberreach.
Mm-hmm. Could
There
I...
aren't many artificers outside of that.
Could I use my knowledge from a past life for this to add a d6 to my roll?
Yeah, and you get advantage because Worm is helping.
Okay, cool.
Worm, how are you helping?
I'm very persuasive.
I'm not talking about Affy.
I am not persuasive, so I don't know where you got that from. I just yell at people until they do things for me.
I guess.
Uh,
Nice, natural 20.
Nat 20 plus
Nice.
2.
Okay. So you can get all of your components for 35 gold.
Okay. Ophelia would. How do I math this? So I would want to give back everybody. I would give back everybody 1 gold, so that they are only giving me 9 gold each, and then I would pay the additional. Ophelia just doesn't want to make everybody pay more than her. I'm trying to figure out
Well, sorry, what was the total that you were gonna?
35. I don't know how to do math. I'm not a Rob.
It's fine. Just pay the difference.
Mm.
We're all
Fine, I
gonna
will pay the
get
5.
another. Like we'll get a pocket ourselves, probably, right?
Yes, I will be mass producing the pockets
Exactly.
using a feature.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
Yes, I will mark off 5
entirely,
gold.
entirely fair that we should contribute.
yeah,
Yeah, 43
And if-
gold.
we basically paid you for your labor.
Cool. Is this a cold or hot pocket that we are building first? I mean, a cold or hot.
That's up to you.
It might be good to do like a cold one. That way we can take some, on our little trip, we can take some cold stuff and not have to worry about it spoiling.
Yes, yeah, then, we're going to the temple next to do what exactly?
I just need to tell Sanolk where I'm going, and I want to pick up some holy water.
Would you mind if I go back to the inn and start working on this? Will you guys go to the temple?
I'll go with you.
Okay. We'll go back to the, where the lodging is to work on the cold.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are, walking around picking up the various parts that you're going to need and things like that, Worm, because you're the only one that rolled high enough, you notice you're sort of walking past the outer edge of the open air market at the center of the Azure Ward, and you pass by a window and you kind of stop for a second, questioning what you saw, and then you back up and you look, and in the window of the shop there is a sort of display case of sorts that looks like a kind of like a terrarium, but it's like somebody took a section of a dungeon and made it very small, and there is a tiny gelatinous cube just kind of going around the outside edge of it. And you look up at the sign and you can see that this place is called Happy Tales, and it seems to be an exotic pet store.
I don't know how I feel about this. On one hand, I like animals. On another, I've got 2 snakes already. Fuck it. I grab Raise and drag them inside.
Ah!
Okay.
Come on!
So,
There's a
as
pet gelatinous cube!
as the two of you enter this shop, you can hear a bell sort of way inside, and the shop is dimly lit. It's kind of hard to see after being out in the sort of bright sunlight of the day, but when your eyes adjust, you can just see wall to wall pages and displays and miniature terrariums just packed full of shit in here. There are creatures all over the place. You see eyeballs just looking at you from various places. There are many-eyed creatures, no-eyed creatures. There are all kinds of things.
This is amazing.
Do you see creatures with really cool eyebrows?
Oh, look, there's a Eugene Levy.
You hear a small yip and then a poof, sort of like a poof of dust happens in front of you, and there is a very small dog that appears in front of you and looks very happy to see all of you. And you can hear somebody inside just yelling, "No, no, 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 come back here." And like a person comes running around you see a human female come running around the corner. And she's like, "Oh, he didn't jump on you, did he?
No, not yet.
Training is not going well. Get back here." And he kind of like looks at you guys for a second and does that like dog head tilt where they like flop their ears back and forth, and then he runs back to her.
That race, that was fucking adorable. Can we have like 3 of those?
No. How you gonna keep it alive when we go on a job?
Obviously, I'll just shrink it down and put it in my hair.
What?
Don't question it, just go with it.
We need, like, strong pets. You know what I mean? Like a dire wolf or something.
Well,
Or a
what's wrong?
hyena.
Are you saying Sneeze and Craney aren't strong?
No.
No, they're not strong, or no, you're not saying that?
No, I'm not saying that.
Inside check.
I want a hyena.
Sure, roll an insight check.
Are there any hyenas in here?
24.
You don't see any hyenas, and Race, roll a deception or a persuasion check depending on what the hell you're doing.
I wrote down my stats. 12.
Yeah. And you got what, a 24?
Yeah.
Are you lying?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Good, because they're really strong, and they have horns.
Yeah, I know. They poke me all the time.
So, as you kind of move around in here, the woman introduces herself, and she says, "Hi, I'm Farah, and I run Happy Tales here. And are you looking for anything in particular today? We've got a lot of new friends in."
Anything really cool. Or deadly,
We have a
apparently.
lot of really cool things. We have a lot of those too, I guess.
Okay, but
They
deadly
can
in the
be.
sense of they'll attack and not, like, just be poisonous or venomous to us.
I mean, I don't usually keep those in the shop, but I can get them if there's something in particular you're looking for.
A hyena.
Hyena. Yeah.
I don't have a hyena in stock at the moment, but I could send for one.
How much would that be?
She goes behind her desk and like starts rifling through some papers, and she tells you that for your typical, just regular run of the mill hyena, you're looking at 300 gold. But if you wanted a midnight hyena,
What's that?
you're looking at 500 gold.
Midnight hyena.
Is it just because
So,
it's
a
black?
midnight-
That's racist.
So you actually, Worm and Race would know that a midnight hyena is from the desert in Umberreach, where the sand is actually black, and it's perpetually night in this desert, and you have to use dinosaurs to cross it.
Dinosaurs.
So
we're going there, right?
They roam wild in that desert.
If they're, is it just like a little?
Myself, then.
Is it just like a little pup, like a little hyena pup?
We would get a younger one, yes, that you could raise and train as your own.
Nice.
But would you really be able to look after it?
Get out of here, Lily.
We're in and out.
Out of character, I got a PDF that has. I got a PDF that it's called Stribble's Companions, Codex of Companions.
Oh, God.
And it's literally companion animals that you can have with you, and it teaches you how to like raise them and stuff. So
that's
it's
fun.
a mechanic for D&D. Yeah. There's a lot of really cool stuff in here.
Mm.
What if I
There.
want to go to the Midnight Desert and, like, adopt an old grizzled veteran hyena?
I could reach out to some of my breeders and see if they have them. If they have one that's ready to retire.
I'd take that. Yeah.
Would that be 500 gold still? For one that's gonna die soon?
We could do some kind of deal.
Adopt
I
elder
still
pets.
think it would probably. I still think it would probably be above your
Now we
Above
just
my
got-
what,
terms of money.
Lily?
We
In
just
terms
gotta
of
do.
money.
We gotta do a couple more of these jobs, and it's no problem. Okay, we'll be back. Thank you so much.
Wait. How long is it
What?
gonna take you to get one here? Like, what's the turnaround?
Reasonable question.
Maybe a week.
Oh shoot! I don't know if I can get it in that quick.
Well, it would be both of us. It would be our child.
Oh,
Ophelia, as you're watching this happen, you sort of look to your left, and like there's a small pool of like reedy looking plants, and like what you think is a lotus blossom is floating on the surface.
Oh no, the
And-
trauma.
You watch as this little tiny creature sort of lifts its head up above the water and looks at you, and then ducks back down. And from what you could see, it looked like a little, like, it almost looked like a root ball with a little lotus blossom for a hat. Kind of peeked up at you. And then you also see sort of lazily laying underneath like a downspout of a waterfall, like a miniature waterfall. There is a couple of capybaras. There is in another display you see there's a pangolin. And then you get to sort of the weird section, and there is what looks to be, at first you're looking at it and it's in a display case all on its own, and it looks like it's like a mug that you would see in like a tavern, and as you look at it, it all of a sudden like little feet pop out from underneath it, and it starts like walking around inside this cage.
Is it a mimic?
You see there are several clockwork creatures in here. There is what looks to be a book with wings in one of the cages. Many of these creatures you've never seen or heard of before.
Got some weird shit here.
And there are some
Indeed they
creatures in
have.
here that, like, you're pretty sure they come right out of the Nine Hells.
I want one of those.
Ugh. Lily appears to be taking in all of this, but there is a sense that she might be looking for something in particular
Okay.
and not seeing it.
I'm so sad that Ophelia would not care to have a capybara. They have capybaras, and I have the character who does not care about capybaras. Not that Ophelia dislikes capybaras.
You
but-
did this to yourself.
Where
yeah,
you see
a really
you see
tall
floating in one of the
individual walking.
cages. You see floating in one of the cages is several little glowing balls of light that you've heard stories of, that if you were to reach out and touch one of them, you would get an unexpected jolt.
Like a hand
Ew.
buzzer?
Like, roll me a history check.
Does it make you go woohoo like that one song?
11.
You're pretty sure that this is a Feywild firebug or a lightning bug.
Oh. Hmm.
You also see there
Potentially
is,
could be quite useful, couldn't it?
in one of the cages there are a couple of very young looking displacer beasts.
I want one of
Kitchen
those.
form.
How much are they?
A young displacer beast. You're looking at where's my list? That one is gonna be 640 gold.
And how much for one of the lightning bugs?
One of the lightning bugs. You could get one of those for 50 gold.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Love how she brings us into this shop and we can't fucking afford anything.
Give me more money.
Just to let you know that it's here and give you something to work for in the future.
I've got other things to work for. This was supposed to be an impulse buy for the dopamine.
You see that there is a box of $10 scarab beetles.
No,
that are-
I don't want your pity bugs. I don't want your pity bugs. I'm upsetty.
Ophelia goes to look at the little clockwork creatures. Do they
Okay,
look
yeah.
well maintained and taken care of?
They do. They look like they are in amazing condition. They you see one that looks like a fox and one that looks like an owl.
Do I see any haunted dolls that remind me of the one that's in Mistwalkers and doesn't scare me at all?
I think there's one of those in here. Hold on. Let me double check just to be sure. I think I looked. No. You do, however, see a very small, young-looking flump in one display.
What's a flump again?
It's
They're
the
like
sort of like
little floating octopus things. They're very
Aw.
cute and sweet.
Aw. Ophelia says, I do not think that I am good with creatures, but you are very nice. And like slowly offers
It like
an
waves a
extremely
little
steady-
tentacle at you.
Hello,
Oh,
creature. Hello. So, out of character, one thing you do have to consider about getting a pet is how you're going to clean up with it. Because there's a big difference between what all these pets produce and how you're going to afford to feed it. These are all very different care requirements.
Mm.
Like, for instance, if you get a ginger pit bull terrier, you can't buy regular doggy bags for the poop as talked about. I'm exposing you on camera, Ginger. I'm exposing you. She doesn't care. You can't even see her face. She's hiding.
She's just completely unbothered. It's fine.
She's asleep. She's snoring.
But yeah. So you spend a little while looking around and let the shopkeeper know that you'll come back. Worm is outside pouting.
Mm. Right, so Ophelia, you're going to go back to the house and start building the
This,
cold pocket you decided you were going to do
Yeah.
first, didn't you?
that's. I'm watching the cat. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am going to start working on this cold version. If I take off eventually, one of my infusions, I could mass produce them if we believe we are going to have downtime for a bit in the future. But,
I mean, the only real thing we're kind of doing is looking for.
Hi, Pasta.
I'm outside. Never mind.
because once I could make more, perhaps we could sell them.
That would be a very good idea. I
Side
think.
hustle.
Yes. So, yes. So
I'm quite sure they'd be very popular. I'm dying to see one.
please do not die before you see them. Dying is ill-advised.
No. I didn't. That's simply a saying. It's not. I didn't mean literally. Fine, don't worry.
I meant it as a joke. Did you not
Good,
tell
good.
because of my tone?
Possibly.
I will work on that. Have fun at your endeavor. I will see you later.
Split the
Indeed.
party.
Yes.
Party, what's
Okay, so you all go outside
Right, Pasta?
and split your party up in your various ways. That's probably a good place to take our break real quick.
Sure,
Pasta's
we'll be right
mad
back.
because Pasta wasn't at the pet shop
Okay.
because she's at Artemis's house. She's not for sale.
Any Hill theme song is playing as Lily and Race are just fighting in a temple for no reason.
We have to play the cleric that I made last night and the Davy Jones one shot, which will eventually be on our podcast.
And
Yeah.
YouTube.
Where did you check out the
Eventually.
Bokter's podcast?
When I
stuff?
get around to editing.
When
Well,
I
where can
get
you
around
check
to
the other
editing.
cast stuff from like the previous Phixius Titan stuff and even the Phixius 5 stuff? Where could you find that?
Well, you can't find any of the Titan stuff yet, I don't think.
Where can you find the previous?
No, I
Phixius
haven't
Titan?
been able to put it up yet because you haven't put the videos up. So
You can put the podcasts up. I don't care. I'm so
Okay.
far behind, just put them up. It's fine.
Oh no, everything's going wrong when I was trying to plug an advertisement. Ah,
But you could watch all of the previous Phixius 5 stuff and listen
That's
to
true.
it. That's all out there in the ether.
And then you'll get
That's
all
true.
our weird jokes.
Yes, you'll get all of the
Ah.
inside jokes, which is the whole reason that I watched Critical Role Season 1 or Campaign 1, because I started in Campaign 2 and it pissed me off that I didn't get the inside jokes. So I went back and watched all 400 hours of the first
Ooh,
campaign.
that was
and
an
then
interesting
caught up.
noise.
Artemis, can you tell me what my +2 attack and my damage die are, just in case?
Sure. I sent
Right,
you a screenshot
I've just
of it.
lost audio.
Punching clerics.
I can't. I'm just on my phone. I have no
Oh,
internet.
your like for your sword is +3 to hit or +3. No, that's not right.
+3. That's
All right,
not
hold on.
you got a +3
Yeah.
sword?
No.
Your big sword does 2d6 +3.
But what's to hit?
+3. Plus your bonus or plus your proficiency, so 5 +5. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm like,
Sorry.
where is this on here? But I found it. I found it.
Sorry. Carry on.
Okay. Anyways, so the party has split. 2 of you have gone back to the merchant house. Worm and Ophelia have gone back there to work on the not hot pockets. The miniature pockets of colding. And then Race and Lily have gone to the temple, the Illumination Abbey. Why don't we start with I was gonna say Worm and Ophelia because Lily can't hear us right now.
Oh no.
So as the 2
Yeah.
of you are heading back, new. Said I've just lost audio, gonna have to hop out and back in.
Oh,
Ophelia walks in the door and like the fucking Seinfeld bum 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 starts playing, I assume.
No, the Cheers theme song plays.
Mm-hmm. And then we walk in and we go to our barrack area and I start laying out everything and I say, so have you ever built a machine before?
big owlish blinking.
That is neither a yes nor no response.
Roll me a d4.
No.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I can...
It makes me
Oh,
nervous
not
when you
me.
make us just roll random
I know.
dice.
Ah!
Technology.
It makes you nervous when I ask for random dice.
Yeah.
I will have to do it more.
1?
You. So one of your aunties you know was very into that sort of thing, but like you never really were able to help them because number one, that auntie slightly crazy, and also you didn't understand what they were doing.
I've seen machines be built.
That is step one.
There's
You see
usually a
machines.
lot of like silverware and fire.
Oh. Well, I mean, we could try the silverware and fire method if you want to begin that way, if that would be an easier introduction.
Question before we go that far. Is the mad cackling a requirement?
No, I do not do that.
Damn, I was hoping it would be.
You can do it. It is not a no-go. It is just not a requirement. You will not be graded on your cackling.
Oh, all right. Okay, sure. No, let's just go with what you know.
Okay. So Ophelia starts like laying out like different screws and explaining like how different screws need different types of screwdrivers and then they whip out their tinkerer's tool, which is like really intricately carved. Like it appears to be very fancy, most of like what Ophelia is wearing, despite their initial lack of gold. And they, show you, and it's just like, this is a Phillips head. This is a flathead. That is a cat that I just saw come down your stairs. Which one is
That's
it? Which one?
That's a Henry.
Hello, Henry.
Oh, hi, baby Henry.
Henry.
This is a Henry screwdriver. Henry walks by.
There's an Allen wrench that is just named after some guy named Allen.
Alan from Jeremy stuff, specifically him.
Why does a pocket need screws?
Because for the electrical magical components.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. See, artificers, we are enchanters and also engineers.
So are the screws going to dig into my hip if I fall down on it?
No, they are very small.
I don't know if you've ever heard the story of the princess and the pea.
Have I heard that story?
Roll a history check.
The pea was a mimic.
You are
And it
all
was
that.
French.
Can you hear me?
You are vaguely aware of a story called The Lady in the Ball Bearing, but
Is
that's about
it
it.
similar to the lady and the ball bearing?
It's the same story.
Going with context clues, I'm going to say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Liz.
That's
Thank
me.
you. Sorry about that.
I bruise like a peach from like a flick.
Mm.
And
Well,
why do you think I stole all the pillows?
But you've got an ass you can bounce a quarter off of.
I assume you stole
No,
all
it
the
just
pillows
consumes the quarter.
because you could and you wanted to.
I mean,
I
I
did
do
not-
like being comfy, but
I did not think you had an ulterior motive.
well, it's there. It's like fivefold. It's like I need to be comfy, but I also love hoarding pillows and blankets and soft things, and I also love being comfy and then having a nest, and then also making sure that all of like my bits are propped up where they need to be.
Why don't we create the first prototype, and if it is unsatisfactory, we can go back to workshopping it.
Okay.
And then I start to create, and I try to have Worm participate by like asking Worm for certain tools, like anything. I know I have my Tinker's tools, but like if I need like any like additional stuff handed to me. And Ophelia is very patient during all of this.
I do okay.
I mean, yeah, you like to learn things.
Could we
Curious
try
by
to
nature.
roll? Wait, can we do something fun where we try to each roll a d20 and see if we match up and see how good it goes? Because I always
Well,
love doing...
I want you to roll a Tinkerer's check.
Sure, how do I do that?
So it's a D20 plus your dexterity.
Why is Tinker's Tool's dexterity? That's so weird. I feel like it should be intelligence, based on stat stuff, but...
11. Okay,
Yeah.
so with Worm's help, It takes you a long time, but you get there eventually, and you have something that probably isn't going to explode in your pocket.
So is it more like a pocket protector than it is a pocket we sew into a garment?
That would be like a pocket you sew in.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So literally you can look at somebody and like throw it at them and say they dropped their pocket.
You could do that for sure, yes.
Hmm. Interesting.
Fine.
I kind of like that.
But yes, do you want to put in a scrap of bacon just to see if it works?
Oh yeah, this is the cooling one, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'll go get some bacon and shove it in there.
Okay. So as you cross the hallway into the kitchen dining area, you see that Nock is in there knitting. He looks up at you, waves. Continues knitting again. You figure that Ham is probably still asleep.
We've only been gone a little bit.
Yeah. You go grab a piece of bacon, and like Nock watches you the whole time, just like walk through the dining room with a piece of raw bacon. And is just like, and goes back to knitting.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
You can't see it, but he gives you a thumbs up behind you.
By the way, that stone that I gave you, that I inlaid into your spear, sorry, not your spear, your staff, would help you if we were to come across any danger on our excursion. You could
so
say
it's not just pretty.
mechanically, it gives you a +1 to magic attacks, to hit, and to damage, you could say.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like a blue stone, similar to like how Ophelia's eyes glow blue when they do magic. It's like a diamond inlay, like shaped. And it looks
the new green.
Blue's the new green. And I heard that orange is the new black too. And everything tastes like
no. Okay, so Worm comes back with a raw piece of bacon. And so explain to me over the table exactly what it is that you've created in this nonsense.
It's like
basically just like a cooler in your pocket.
Yeah, it's like a small bag of colding, I assume.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured you were doing. Okay.
It's not
so
it's so that, but the thing about it that makes it better than a bag of colding, or at least different, is that it's modular to where like Ophelia has its spec where you can make it different size pockets and you can attach it to garments, so you don't need an extra like thing to carry around. It's already on you.
Okay.
It's just underclothes.
So you determine, Worm, that you could put in 4 slices of bacon before the pocket is like full. But there's room for improvement. It functions.
It's just the prototype.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But it functions.
Eventually, if we were to get enough money, we could create an entire outfit of pockets.
That's a lot of pockets.
And sizes.
Now, are you able to remove it from like one garment and put it in a different garment? Like if you needed to change into your good robes?
Yes, you could do that.
Okay.
I feel like it would be convenient. Perhaps imagine you are going to a festival to see the hit star, Mr. Worldwide, who travels all across the Jade Sea and beyond with his bald, shiny head, and you would like to bring in a cool beverage. But the venue does not allow that. So you put your beverage in your inner pocket, and then you take it out later.
I usually just shove it down my tits.
But then it would be a warm beverage.
Well, it's just until you get past security.
Anyways, we move across town. As the two of you are sitting there coming up with all kinds of crazy nonsense. We move across town to Race and Lily, who, as you approach, so Race, you haven't really explored this part of town before. Like, you've been throughout the Azure Ward and the docks and things like that because you guys have only been here for about a month. But
Yeah.
this is the Temple District, which sits sort of right at the base of a small. It's a cliff, but it's not a very high cliff. Where the Citadel sits, sort of overlooking the rest of the city, and sort of in the shadow of that is all of the temples, and you know that given the way that it's facing, it gets a lot of direct sunlight in the mornings.
What gods are represented?
So the one that you guys go to is the Torchbearer, also
Right,
known as Pelor.
Mhm.
In this
Yep,
part of the
that's
world,
where we
he's
go.
called the Torchbearer.
Yeah.
But there are several other temples to most of the
There are
major
there's a row.
deities.
There's a whole row of them, as I recall.
Yes.
Put all your religion in the same place. It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So I head up the there's a flight of stairs at the front, and I head up the stairs, and then invite Grace to come up with me.
I do the rocky run up the steps. And I get to the top before you probably and go,
Fine.
As one of the many songs from that show plays.
yeah.
Yeah, as you enter, so from the outside, you can tell that these windows are made of glass. The whole front part of the building is just made of glass. And it's difficult to tell from the outside exactly what it is, but as soon as you enter in, you are in a very well-lit marble chamber that has like marble and gold, and the stained glass windows show like a multitude of colors as they sort of project onto the floors. It's very, very beautiful. There's an altar up front with several like pews that you could sit in if you were to spend some time there. There's a little fountain off to one side. And Lily explains that there is an abbey in the back that people live in.
Yeah.
And you both see as you enter in, a voice sort of booms to both of you and says, "Oh, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, Lily." And you see coming up to you is what looks to be sort of an elderly bugbear in robes. And he smiles at both of you and greets Lily very warmly.
Yeah. And Lily just not ostentatiously, but just as though it is the right thing to do, just very gently bows her head to him, and then introduces Race. Race, this is Sir Nulk. He is the abbot here. He looks after everything to do with this holy place.
I saw you do a simple bow, so I'm going to do a ridiculous, bow.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I do have advantage on these. I looked.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 16.
Okay, you manage it.
No.
You don't fall over or anything.
It still looks probably ridiculous, but
Lily notices just a slight smile touching the corners of Sir Nulk's mouth, and Lily
He seems
just
like a very
says,
happy guy.
Yeah, he is. He is. I just thought I should come and let you know what's going on, because you'll have noticed that I've not been staying at the Abbey for the last couple of days. I've joined up with a group of people, including Grace, and we're doing some work for one of the Blesser houses, and we've sort of been staying there. But I thought I ought to let you know that I'm actually going to be out of the city for the next couple of days on one of these jobs, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind, could I take some of the holy water from the
I think that could
fountain?
be provided, yes.
Mm.
And he sort of motions to another one of the people who are working there and whispers something to them, and they sort of go off.
Mm.
He says,
How
yes.
how have things been over the last few days? I've only found out this morning that there was an execution
You can
a
see
couple
like
of weeks ago.
a sort of like mix of sadness and anger sort of like washes over his face.
Mm.
And he says, yes, nasty business that.
Yes, it sounds like it
Hasn't
might be.
been
It
an
might have been.
execution in the city in 40 years.
Mm.
Bit extreme.
The person that I had this information from was very clear that in their own mind that the wrong person was executed. I don't know if that's
He kind of nods, and like you can see he's choosing his words very carefully, and he says, there are several who think that.
That's a great pity.
Yes. Well,
I'm wondering if
I think justice failed that day.
yes, it does rather sound as though it might have done. There may be an opportunity for me to see if I can find out some more about what was going on. I don't know for certain at this point, but it feels like that somebody ought to be trying to do something, and I may have the opportunity at some point. But yeah, apart from that, I literally I wanted to come and let you know that I am safe. I am fine. I haven't disappeared off the face of the earth, but I will probably be elsewhere for the next couple of days or so.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Just keep yourself safe and your
I intend
newfound
to.
friends close. And if you do go poking around, be careful.
Oh, yes.
The Amber brand has been on a tear lately.
I was kind of getting that impression. Yeah. Which is not great.
Things will settle down eventually, but for now I would just
yes, I don't tend to. Yes.
Oh, I can handle that part. The safety
you
part.
look strong.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Titan's Watch, yes? Given your garb.
What do you know? Yes. I don't really say that.
Most of your people wear similar clothes. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
I
if you're
know.
not, but
I am.
Quite a military thing you have going on out there at the moment.
Is that bad?
I mean, that depends on what the people think.
Military thing? What do you mean?
You know that he's talking about Titan's Watch being a protectorate of the city.
I mean,
and before you left, there had been quite a large occupying force at the time. So.
Yep.
There are whispers of unrest.
Well, what are you gonna do?
What is it that brings you to the mainland?
Work.
Yes.
So your gad's the god of torches, huh?
Sort of. He's the god of light and life.
Oh, Sure. Race
And he
doesn't
kind of
know
looks at
anything about
Lily and he's
gods.
like, are you not explaining this to your friends?
I am, as and when the opportunity arises, yes, but
Okay.
that's not
Yes, if you
happening
have
all
any
that
questions
often.
about him, you can ask
Absolutely,
Lily
you
here.
can ask
She
me. Yeah.
Okay.
was quite the
Absolutely.
student.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can do that.
So
As and
since he's
when.
a god, is his torch like real big?
He sort of like turns sideways a little bit so you can see the altar properly, and you can see that the altar is like it's like a statue of a man who has basically like a giant burning torch for like a head.
Oh. Huh. Yep. Looks
So yes, that's a pretty big
about,
light.
about right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Must be hard to breathe. It's just, if you're, or see for that matter. Wow. And I'm starting to mumble
he
about
is
like,
a god, so
where are his ears?
this is just how he presents himself to his followers. I imagine when he's in the divine realms, he has a face, but I don't know.
Oh. Be like strobe lights going off in your face all the time.
The person that Nulk had sent off comes back and offers you 2 small glass vials and a rolled up piece of parchment. The glass vials you recognize as they're 2 vials of holy water.
Yeah. As I thank you very much. Take them, and then just looking at the rolled up piece of parchment, I just a half look up at Sir Nulk.
His face doesn't change. He just looks at you very like, and you're used to him. He can be stoic when he needs to be. So he doesn't really give anything away when you look at him. He just looks at you and smiles a little bit. Well, be safe on your trip and let me know when you're back in the city, and if you see anything out there, spectacular. I love to hear of your adventures. Where is it that you're off to?
We're heading up to Belor with some
okay.
goods.
So not a
as
long
it were,
trip.
and then coming back. No, not a very long trip. Hopefully, only a couple of days.
Well, be safe on the roads. There have been rumors of bandits hitting
Yes,
merchant
I've heard
trains
those.
lately.
I've heard those too. So yes, we will be careful. We will be careful, and we bring when you take the whole group of us. There are 3 others besides Race who have teamed up.
Sorry, everybody. Discord just crashed. Give me a moment.
Is he stinky?
He is stinky. Hi, sorry about that. We're back.
He's okay.
I don't know what
Discord's just
happened.
being a jerk.
Discord is weird.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so anyways, you were looking at the so Nulk just says,
Yeah.
be safe and lets you know. Can I have Race and Lily roll perception checks, please?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Just 12.
12. Okay.
One of those, and then come on. No perception, not.
You can
Why
do it,
will you
Lily.
not? Just. Yay! Finally. Hey!
Natural 20.
Thank you.
Nice.
Not 20.
Okay.
Yay!
So Lily, you for sure know this because it's different than you've never seen him wear this before. But Grace, you also see this because it's a different color than his whole ensemble is very white and gold and everything like that. But the two of you see around one of his wrists is a small, very delicate looking silver chain with a small emblem on it. And you both see this symbol sort of on there emblazoned in you're not really sure what it's made out of, but you can see this is very small, very delicate looking. You think maybe on a normal sized human it might be a necklace, but because he's so big, he's wearing it as a bracelet.
What kind of symbol? Or is it one we recognize?
Lily definitely recognizes this. This is the signia of Belsair. They are the people that so Nock and Ham, they were hunting somebody from this group.
I gotcha.
And he sees you sort of clock it, Lily, and tucks it away really quickly.
Okay.
The expression on his face doesn't change. He just remains, positive.
And Lily just sort of she doesn't try and pretend that she didn't see it or anything like that, but she just sort of cocks her head on one side and just looks at him and lets it go because she's not going to start interrogating him. But she does taken a bit more interest in the little bit of parchment. And as soon as Nulk has sort of said his final farewells and turned away, she unwraps it to read what it says.
Nice to meet you.
You as well,
Okay.
Race. Keep Lily safe, please.
Yeah, that's the goal for sure. For sure. Because I don't know that magic stuff. I can only make berries.
Well,
and
that's
they don't
important.
do much. Sure. You want one?
Sure. And he takes one and eats it, and he's like, ah, yes, I love a good berry. And then walks away.
Hey, he knows that one.
It's
a good joke.
But the two of you are able to go back out into the city and the noise of the city streets and things like that.
Okay.
Lily, do you take a moment to look at the piece of parchment he gave you?
Yes.
Yeah, so all it says is it just says I'll put this in chat for you. In Elvish, I think, yes, in Elvish, it just says Brio Hella Lent. And you know this to because you understand this to mean never been to tyrants.
Alu Benori Delana.
Do you let me see that, or are you just looking at it yourself?
What?
Um,
The parchment.
I think I would probably let you see it. I don't know if you speak Elvish.
I do. I am an elf.
Of course you are. Sorry. Yes, of course you do.
Well, you could be like me and be Korean, but you don't speak Korean, so there might
That's
be elves who don't
true.
speak Elvish.
I
We should learn.
currently speak Midwestern, though.
Currently speak-
Go get yourself some bars. They're
You're-
over there by the punch.
Race, you are very surprised at how quick the goodbye went with Cernulk, because you're used to goodbyes taking 2 hours.
Wow, he just says goodbye and then leaves, huh? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the way you normally do goodbyes, isn't it?
You were a little taken aback by the
Oh.
fact that he didn't, like, pat his, like, arm or something and say, well, 10 times.
Well, no, that was his sort of normal kind of farewell.
Interesting note.
You think Worm
Right.
would probably be fascinated with this information too.
Hmm.
We should let Worm know about that.
We
But
could do
you
that. Let's
all sort
head
of
back
reconvene.
To the, head back
Yep.
to the.
Yep.
You
The boarding
reconvene
house.
back at Third House Surgeon,
Yes.
and the notice says that you need to go see Ava.
Somebody or other.
Yes,
At the stable.
hold on. Ava Ecthelia in the
That's it.
stables.
Mhm.
To get the equipment you'll need and horses and all of that stuff, and you sort of turn back up just as Worm and Ophelia are putting the bacon in the prototype.
How's it going?
Goodness, that was very quick. Are you already at the stage of testing out? I'm impressed.
Yeah, we got 4 slices of bacon in here.
Yes,
Wow.
Sounds very good.
Worm has learned about flatheads and Phillips heads and Henry-headed screwdrivers.
Henry-headed?
Henry-headed.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have those where I'm from, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fine.
Yes,
I've heard about
Ophelia's
flattened
a really
fillets,
good
but-
teacher.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad to. So you've got on all right.
Yes, we
Working
did.
together then. That's excellent. I am glad. I suspect we need to start. We've got the Race and I got the horses and the wagons and all the rest of it. So I think we can probably prepare to set off as soon as we like.
All right
We
then.
just gotta find this person. Do we know where that person is? Or
Yeah,
someone
like
who would tell us?
literally across the courtyard from you.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go talk to them.
This place is set up so that, like, everything is sort of in like a central location. Like, there's a warehouse that has all of the stuff that, like, you are going to be sending, and then there is the stables with the sort of horse paddock, and
Nice.
all the wagons are, near that, and like everything is together. Like, this company runs well.
And nobody wants to go to a secondary location.
Yeah,
Nope.
no.
No, absolutely not.
Fuck that
Of course
noise. Too much work.
Okay, go talk to the person.
Sure. So you go out, you meet up with Ava. She introduces herself. She is a half elf, and she has like sort of long, like sort of whitish blonde hair, kind of like Ophelia's, but there's a little bit more blonde to it. And green eyes. She smiles at all of you, and when you tell her what's going on, she says, "Oh yeah, of course, I've got exactly what you need here. Just give me a half hour, I'll get you loaded up." She gets you a wagon all set to go, and like as you can see that there's two places in front that a person, like a driver and whoever is up there protecting, could sit, and then there's two places in the back, sort of like on what the back like tailgate would be, that a person could sit watching the back of the wagon to keep an eye out.
Okay.
So what?
So there you are, Worm. No worries. There's somewhere for you to sit. You don't have to walk. None of us have to walk.
What are we taking?
Well, until Rue comes back.
Do you ask
then
Eva
we'll-
that?
Yes, I asked you.
Yeah, so she pulls back the canvas cover, and you
What
can
is
see
it?
that there is textiles and dyes in here. That's mostly what
Ooh.
Third House Surgeon is like known for. Is they bring in dyes and textiles from across the Jade Sea, from both Isaris and from Umberreach, and they then trade it across.
Do any of
The
them look
continent of
really
Kayan.
cool?
There are several of them in there that like you can tell that they're like hand woven and very beautiful. Some of them look really expensive.
Oh,
There's
damn.
silks and natural fibers and all kinds of things like that. There's one particular like roll of fabric that it's a very small bolt of fabric, maybe enough to make like a shawl or like a headdress of some kind, that seems to be made of silk. And when you look at it at first, it looks turquoise, but then it shifts in a little bit in the light. Like if you move a little bit, it shifts kind of iridescent, and the colors change depending on how you're looking at it. It's very beautiful. And then there's like barrels of like inks and dyes and things like that, powders. So.
Cool.
She says, and
I've
she
never seen such fancy
tucks it back
clothes.
in. She tucks it back in and she says, "While this stuff is very expensive and important, just remember it's not worth your lives. I'm not saying that, do try to defend it if something were to happen, but don't be dumb. It's just things."
Yeah, it's not a problem for this group. We're all very smart.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yes.
We have the benefit of it all being on the main road, so we're not going to be going off into the wilds of nowhere, which is a good thing, I think.
Perhaps we would want to station people in certain areas. Being that I perhaps am not the most observant, but I am fairly tanky, I would not mind sitting on the rear of the wagon.
I'm
Well,
pretty
that's
strong
fine.
also. I could sit in the front so we could split up the beefcakes, as it were.
That sounds like a good idea.
I am
Yeah.
not made out of beef.
I mean,
So,
everybody's
race
made
in
out of
front.
beef if you try hard enough.
No, that is not how that works. For instance, that bacon was made out of pork, not beef.
But if I had beef with the pig,
Why would you be beefing with a pig? You should be... Never mind. You should be...
working with a pig,
halfway through the
You should be
sentence, that's not
allied.
work. You should be...
Like one of those sentences you get halfway through and you can see the train wreck coming and just can't stop it.
Ophelia stops and then says, I am going to get on the back of the wagon.
I sit down beside Ophelia.
Okay.
I believe you
So
have
we got
one
Lily and
argument.
Race up
That's-
front and
Yep.
Ophelia
Yeah.
and Worm in the back.
You'll
I do
be
win
the
arguments
eyes, I'll be
sometimes.
the muscle.
All right, cool. So that's probably where we're going to leave it then.
Oh,
All ready to.
reminder, before we do next session, we have to try to convince this fabric person that our pockets are a really good investment opportunity.
Oh.
Because
Good
think about
thinking.
if we
A
got
very
a
good
hookup,
idea.
we
Yeah.
could make the pockets cheaper to produce to cut our overhead.
Good
The hat
thinking.
ones can
Good
keep
thinking.
your soup warm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just have
Like
a
a
pocket
pie.
of soup. Just like
My
open
favorite
it out,
villain for Soup
do like a
Cover
couple
Man.
spoonfuls, close it again.
Yeah. What? You
Oh,
don't eat your
no.
soup that way? Out of a pocket?
Pocket soup.
Pocket soup as opposed to packet soup.
Or bowl of lube. Bowl of lube,
yeah.
pocket soup.
No, no.
Yeah.
It's not the same as that.
Isn't it though? A bowl of
No.
lube. Or a
Deb, you
pocket
get us the
soup.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go raid somebody. Don't forget to donate to Extra Life. If you got a couple bucks, it'd be really, really great to help the kids get needed medical treatment, the specialized equipment, and sometimes just fun things for those long-term patients to do while they are stuck in hospital. Go to tinyurl.com/vactairextralife-2024 and pick somebody from the roster to donate to. Doesn't matter who, it's all going to a great cause. Some of us do have specific hospitals that we are donating to. So like I'm going to, anything donated to me goes to McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario. If they don't have something picked, it just goes into the Children's Miracle Network like bubble
Where it's
and
needed the most.
and it gets shuffled to wherever it's needed most. So just keep that in mind when you are donating. If you want to keep it somewhere local or wanted to stay in the US or go to Canada, like just keep that in mind when you're donating. Stick around for the raid though, and we will hopefully see you on Sunday with Marshall Ryan and the Mothership
Warden Ryan.
game. Warden Ryan. Sorry. What did I say, Sheriff?
He usually runs
Marshall.
Deadlands, but
I said Marshall.
he decided not to this time.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
Him.
We'll see you when we see
Him.
you. Bye.